Hi guys, welcome back to another Battle of the Bosses. If you've watched the end of our Borussia Mönchengladbach one, you sort of know what's coming here. If not, we're going to explain it to you. But first of all, I'm Located Junior watching my side. This here is Elmo,
Okay.
who will have his version over on his channel, as always, link down below, so go and check out his side of things. Now, we're a couple of teams into Battle of the Bosses on this year's save. You know what it is. If you don't, why have you not been watching them, first of all? But second of all, we have the same save file, the same team. We go head to head over a season. This time, it's a little bit different. We're now Salford in League Two, and we're going for 5 years.
If we don't get sacked.
Yeah, if we don't get sacked. If someone gets sacked, then the other person goes until they've earned more points than the other one, or get sacked. And then we'll come across that bridge when it inevitably happens. Because based on history, when we go head to head against each other, we never last more than a season without one of us getting sacked. So it's probably going to happen. But yeah, we've got 5 years. It's going to follow your typical pattern of the pre-season update, mid-season update, and end of season update. We're going to have this on 1 week, then another team in the middle, season 2, another team, season 3, and so on and so forth. So yeah, this could be a bit of a different one, because if you watch my side of things, I like to structure deals with installments. I like to bring in loanees. I literally do as much as I possibly can to win here and now. So I've got to completely change my approach and look at the future potentially, while still trying to win now. And
You've also got to follow the club vision where we haven't had to do previously. So, like Juventus, for example,
yep.
Mönchengladbach, they wanted you to bring in youth, but we was just like, we can ignore it because it's only 1 season. But obviously, over 5 seasons, they're going to start getting pissed off.
I am already apparently disappointed in 2 of my competitions, so yeah. But we've done our first transfer window here. We had a initial budget of, well, it says there £98,000, but the club has spent a little bit before we came in. I think we had about 50,000 in total. So yeah, we've had to make some transfers in and out. There was a few loan players here at the club already, and you can see I've rejected a bid for Ian Henderson as well there. Did consider selling him. I think he was going to Saudi Arabia, £10,000. I ended up cancelling it at the last moment.
Okay.
I was trying to bring in someone. I was trying to bring in former Liverpool youngster Jerome Sinclair. He's a free transfer. The scouting report was he was a championship level player. He wanted to come in. I just could not afford his wages. No matter how much I changed the budgets, I could not get him down to a reasonable level. So he ended up not coming in. He's gone to Peterborough, and that's why Henderson stayed in the end. Because he's 36 years old and he's on £4,000 a week. That's a lot of money at League Two for a 36-year-old.
Yep.
But I kind of need a striker, so he stayed. But some players have gone out, all on loan. 4 players out on loan. James Malholdo to Yeovil, 1.4k loan fee for him. Liam Loughlin to Barnet, 4.3k. Tyler Golden to Solihull Moors for a 3k loan fee. And Kevin Burko to Kidderminster, just out on loan. And this is where the loans become so crucial for us. So normally I'd loan players out because I want to get them off the wage budget. Can't sell them. Here, we're now potentially developing these players to come in at the later stage.
Yeah.
So it was crucial to sort of find the right clubs for each of these players that they're going to play and develop. So that's just another level of things for us to think about.
And that was something that I thought about as well, and obviously you'll see it on my video. There was some players that I didn't at the time. I haven't got the space for them in my squad, in my match squad. But I didn't want to get rid of them because they are decent players and valuable. So, like you say, it was more trying to get them out on loan because they are valuable. I don't want to sell them, but I just haven't got time for them at the moment.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just a completely different dynamic to the team and how we plan all of this. Now, I have had 5 players incoming. 3 of them have been loans. So let's touch on them first. First of all, Bobby Duncan from Derby in on loan. He's a striker. Very, very good young player. Another Liverpool youngster of the past. I tried to sign him, but they wanted too much money. You can see that his valuation, 400 grand minimum, up to nearly 4 million. So we brought him on loan. He's a backup this season, but one that I'd quite like to, potentially keep the club next season, be it on loan or actual signing, and try and use him going forward. So I'm revealing all my plans here, right smack bang in the first episode. Depending what happens with obviously the released players and who else becomes available, this is my plan for the long-term replacement for Henderson. Is Bobby Duncan. Also on loan, Fiseo Deli Bashu, I think is how you pronounce his name. He's on loan from Sheffield Wednesday. He can play in the centre of midfield. He is a pretty damn good player at this
It
level.
does look decent, yeah.
I had interest in him on loan. I wasn't going to bring him in. And then Exeter made a loan offer for him. And I'm like, no, you're not having him then. I'm having him. So, yeah, he's come in and he's actually started a couple of games for me as well. Again, similar, I'd quite like to have him here for as long as possible. He was initially one of my first targets that I looked at to try and bring in. I was trying to not bring in loans where possible. Again, I just couldn't afford him. Some of these players are very pricey. And the final one was from Blackburn, Jack Vale, another striker. He can play on the wing as well. I think left wing. If I'm thinking correct. Oh, either wing, mostly on the right. Again, pretty decent young player. 3-star current ability, 5-star potential. He was then brought in just in case Henderson did go. That was the initial idea behind this loan, was filling in that spot, and then I changed my mind on Henderson, so he's sort of not needed, but a backup.
I think the other thing with loans as well, because we're doing it over 5 seasons, is if you can get them on loan and they enjoy the atmosphere, they enjoy playing for you, and you do well, you've more chance of either getting them on loan next season or them wanting to come to you with them still being young.
Yeah, so he's still got another year left on his contract after this end, and then an optional year as well. But I'm paying absolutely nothing for him. No wages, no fee, and you can see I haven't done the optional fees trick, so he is legitimate. But I have spent some money, first of all, on Paul Downing, a 29-year-old centre-back, joined from Portsmouth for £40,000. He's a pretty good player. He's tall, he's good with his head. And centre-backs well, defenders in general was something that I identified as perhaps needing to strengthen on here.
Yeah.
We are going to be obviously having the top scorer battle between us. But with it being long-term, defence wins trophies. So I had to strengthen it this time, and yeah, he's a very, very good player. Hopefully, I can get a couple of seasons out of him, and then maybe sell him on for a profit if we can get promotion or 2. Fingers crossed. And then the final one, he's an expensive guy. Alfie Kilgore, another centre back, can play at the right. 23-year-old, £230,000. He cost.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a lot of money. This was structured in instalments. So 2 instalments, 6 months each, of about 90 grand in each one, and then 30% of his profit goes to Bristol Rovers as well. But my thinking is he's 23 years old, he's solid at this level already. Again, tall, great in the air, good strength. He's going to be a no-nonsense defender for me. And by the time this 5 years is up, if he stays with us, he's just coming into his prime as well. So I sort of hope with him paying this money early on, I don't have to then pay out a season or 2 down the line to replace him. And if I do, it's because I've sold him for decent money.
It's very interesting, and I'm not going to give anything away. You'll have to check it out on my video, and obviously Tuna doesn't know yet either. But it's your thing is very different. Your transfers is very different to mine.
as we see quite often, it's very, very rare we have the same sort of ideas in terms of transfers.
Yeah.
But I mean, 120 appearances as well in and around the Football League. At 68 appearances over the last 2 seasons at the league above us. He's going to bring some good experience as well to the team. Some very, very good experience.
Definitely.
So if I just take a quick look at my squad, I've got this tactic in place. It's what I've imported from the same as Mönchengladbach and my Tunes Travels Around the World series. I brought that in and again, tweaked it. I've got a new tactic in mind that I want to try out. I'm just not sure if now's the time to deploy it. So we'll see how that goes. But that's sort of the team that I'm playing at the moment. You can see we haven't really been scoring too many. High score is Henderson with 3 goals and assists from 7 games. Decent average ratings for some players. Some of them, I'm not looking at naming any names. Mella, not great at all. There's definitely positions that I want to strengthen on again going forward. But right now, I'm pretty happy where I am for this season coming. In terms of squad, anyway. In terms of the league, I'm in 14th place after 5 league games. 2 wins, 2 defeats, and 1 draw. Not too happy about that. Now, the club vision, for me at least, I assume it's going to be the same for you. They want us to get promoted by winning the league.
I didn't have a look, to be honest with you, but yeah, I'm guessing it is going to be the same for you.
Promotion by winning the league. I'm already 6 points off top after 5 games. That's a little bit of a worry. But on the flip side, it's only 5 games. We've still got 31 games to play.
Yeah.
So hopefully once the team sort of settles in and I actually settle on the tactics, like I say, I'm not sure if I'm going to tweak yet. Oh, do I do it? Don't I do it? You'll find out in the mid-season update. But yeah, things haven't been going fantastically there. We have had a couple of cup games though. We've had some of the Papa John's Trophy. Why are we... I've gone to FA Trophy, that's why. I was like, why is it starting its second round? We don't have a second. I got drawn with Leeds under 23s, Tranmere and Oldham. I beat Tranmere 2-0 in our first group game. I won't lie, I don't care for this competition. I don't care for it in real life, and I certainly don't care for it on here.
Yeah, so just to let you know as well, I've got the same draw, so it's something that was must have been pre-done. I'm sure I have. I've definitely played Tranmere, and I had Leeds on 23s, and I'm sure Oldham is the other team.
I wonder if this is the same draw that's been done in real life then, and they've put it in. I'm not 100% sure what it is in real life. But yeah, winning and starting that, like you say, if I get through, Timo Werner's played for Chelsea under 23s. That just shows you how crap this competition is. Naby Keita for Liverpool. Like, seriously, what is the point?
Yeah, but at least Scott Carson's getting some games.
Exactly, and a clean sheet. Let's go, Scott Carson. Edison won't know what hit him when you overtake him. If I win it, it's just bonus points, but I'm not focused on that at all. We've also had a couple of Carabao Cup games.
With your league performance at the moment, I don't think you can put much focus on that.
No. If we just go to the Carabao Cup, I got drawn against Bradford City in the first round, and we beat them 2-1. So we did manage to have a good result here. Morris and Henderson scoring either side of Songo for them. Statistically, we were very, very good in this game. Watching the game, I'm not quite sure where all of that's come from, to be perfectly honest with you. We were not very good at all. But we managed to get through, scrape through, no extra time needed at all. Of course, none of the Premier League teams are in it at this stage. They enter in the second round, where we got drawn away against Wigan, and some sort of miracle result happened. We beat Wigan 2-1 as well. Wright and Lund scoring before Keane with a penalty. All 3 goals come within a 6-minute spell in that first half. This was sort of the opposite side. Yeah, I'd say this was sort of the opposite one of last time. You look at that, they dominated the game. In reality, even with them scoring a penalty, this was never really in doubt. We were just comfortable. King had a great game. There were a couple of moments where he had to pull off some good saves and keep us in it, but at no real point in this game did I think, okay, we're going out. We were just really good. Leeds out against Sunderland, Burnley out against Blackpool, just a couple of Premier League teams I'm looking for that have gone out against lower league. Arsenal, of course, coming at this stage, they scraped past Brentford. Yeah, I mean, no massive shocks really at this stage. All the big boys come in the third round, where we have been drawn at home to Leicester.
Ooh.
So, tasty tie. I don't think I'm going to get past Leicester, but it should be some good ticket sales, bringing some decent money. Stand that tied around, Arsenal Tottenham.
Yeah.
That's a nice one.
The thing is as well, I know part of the club vision is, or the expectations is to get to the second round.
Yep.
So just getting to the third round, like you say, it brings in more money, and you've already pleased them with the expectation.
They are pleased. Thumbs up. Along with the disappointed there, and
yeah.
Well, we have got a delighted at least, so we'll see. Interestingly, like say they want us to go up this season and next season they want us to work towards reaching the playoffs. So, Gary pal, you're not asking for much, are you? But yeah, I don't think I'm going to go any further in the Carabao Cup. Maybe we could take him to penalties, cling on, but I'm just happy to have reached this stage, really. And,
one thing that I'm disappointed about at Salford is you don't get to interact with Gary at all. He's not part of any discussions.
Now, he sent out a couple of the things early on, doesn't he? But everything else is through Peter Lim.
Lim and the is he the CEO or something? I can't remember his name now.
Karen Baird, chairperson. Obviously, he's managing director apparently.
Is it Chris Casper?
Scorsese is on there.
Chris Casper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's technically there as managing director, and I think you can ask him to sign staff members. Yeah, you don't really get to interact with him at all. Schedule-wise, we started off pretty well. Obviously, 3-1 league victory over Leyton Orient. Didn't look good in this game. Don't know how we won this 3-1 at all. Not a clue. But I wasn't complaining. And then we beat Bradford, and then we were just, again, so poor. Sutton, we lost 1-0 to them. And honestly, we could have played for hours and hours, and we would not have scored a goal in this game. This was, and I'm not kidding here, one of the worst performances I've seen a team do on this edition of Football Manager.
Wow.
And I've been sacked. That says a lot. This was atrocious. But even when you look at the average ratings, they're not that bad. There's a 7.6, there's a 7 in there. Yeah, there's a couple of 6.2s. I have no idea what was going off. I didn't see a single attacking highlight from us all game. And things didn't really get much better against Crawley. 2 late goals, though. That's what made it even worse. 0-0 until the 86th minute, and then bang, they scored 2 goals. I will admit, I'll hold my hands up, I left it way too late to make changes in this one. We got sort of tired, and that's why it happened. I think it was the Nasdin goal actually came from a mistake from Henderson, which was one of the reasons why I was looking to sell him. So throwing that came to him, and he just stood there and let it hit him. And it bounced one of their players in the box to just score. So I was like, that's it, you're leaving, I'm signing someone else. He's still here. Had to go behind, score a penalty to get a point against Swindon, but things may have bounced back. Obviously, Wigan, Tranmere, we beat them, and Henderson scoring the only goal against Newport. Massive game against Bradford. Again, obviously, we've already beaten once, so that should hopefully give us positive. I'm just hoping that game against Leicester isn't really a distraction for them. And of course, we don't know the FA Cup yet, but we will do, obviously, by the next episode, because we'll have played at least 2 rounds if we get through to them. No,
Yeah.
at least 4 rounds if we get through to them. End of January. Season preview, we're massive favourites to win the league. How it started, that's not happening at all. But yeah, that's the little bit of Salford. So obviously we have got money. If we do want to bring people in, just a little bit in wage budget, we're a pretty decent overall balance. So I've got things there to play with. I'd say I'm still working on a tactic that's going to work here. Excited to see how these 5 years potentially goes. If I get sacked before. And just see how high we can get them in that time.
I think the difference with this one is obviously we are challenging with each other, but because we're starting with Salford, who's in League 2, we're both trying to get them as high as possible. Whereas in the other saves, because we're already in the top league that you can be in that country, we might not be one of the top teams, but we're in the top league, so there's no progression. It's just like try and get them finished as high as you can. Whereas because we start in League 2, we're doing it over 5 seasons, even though it's a competition between me and you, it's also to see how well we can do. And I love trying to take a team from low and trying to get them as high as possible. So it's an excitement for me as well as a challenge. And if you know, whether I get sacked early or whether I don't do very well, I'm still looking forward to see how well you can do. And I'll still be supporting you, just as long as you don't do as good as me.
I mean, my aims, personal aims, are by the end of this 5 years to be promoted to the Premier League. Even if it's that final season, I win promotion that season, I'll be happy with that.
Yeah.
But that's where I want to be. I'm setting myself a 5-year goal of getting promoted from the Championship. At Derby, you're doing pretty well. Just noticed that 21 points deducted. They're on -8, unbeaten in 5 games. Well done, Derby.
Well done, Rooney.
Yeah, until I come and poach all your players again. But yeah, that's my little update. Like I say, Elmo's will be linked down below, so go and check his out now. Go and see how he's done. Subscribe to him over there if you haven't already. Let us know who you think is going to be the better of the two over the 5-year period. Let us know who you think is going to do better in this first season. Because
have a go at it yourself.
Yes, have a go at it yourself. Predict where you think we're going to finish at the end of the 5 years. Are we going to be in the Premier League? Are we still going to be in League 2? Are we going to be sacked? Drop your predictions. Let us know.
Yeah.
If you get it right, I'll give you a thumbs up. Speaking of
thumbs up, make sure you like this video. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, and go and check out the rest of Tuna's content. He's currently doing the Around the World, which is I started it. I gave up very, very early, so the fact that he's still plodding along with that, he's still got so much more to do. But go and check out the videos.
It's a beautiful segue, that, weren't it? Beautiful segue. Thank you very much for watching. We're going to be back midweek for the mid-season update, and we'll see you in that one. Bye-bye.
Right.